which kind of goes into what I was, what we're talking about as far as like celebrity. So I know a lot of people want us to get into the Diddy thing. So let's go here. We're gonna talk about this Diddy thing. I need to get this all out the way.
All right. Well, first question, Cameron. First question: did he really do it?
Did he really do it?
Did he really do it? Is he really guilty, or this is another O.J. Simpson? What is
this? Did he really do it? Did he really do it? Here's the answer to the question. Y'all saw. I'm not gonna put the footage in the podcast, but y'all saw all the footage that happened when his house is getting raided and stuff. Mm-hmm. Here's what y'all need to know: when if you're in the hood and you get your house raided by a couple of policemen and maybe like a handful of policemen come out the door. Tuesday. Yeah, that's one thing. If your house was raided by police and a couple of SWAT teams in the hood, you kind of know something's up, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just the regular police. SWAT's coming in.
They found Manuel.
They got enough evidence to go in there and say, look, you probably did some drugs, whatever it may be.
That or they didn't get their cut.
Enough to get... No. Enough... You don't bring the SWAT team out for everybody, right? You only bring the SWAT team when you really need them things to be out there just in case something goes sideways.
Yeah, it's almost like being flattered.
So when y'all saw the Puff Daddy, y'all see the Diddy thing?
Puff Daddy?
Okay, just what's his? They changed his
name. He go by Buff.
He go by Buff. Then Sean Combs. What?
By both. Sean Combs, P Diddy, Puff Daddy.
At least I'll give him this. It's not as bad as Snoop Lion.
Different conversation. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. When you saw that footage, who was out there raiding the spot?
Kids.
No, the
cops.
Who was out there? It was Homeland Security.
Homeland Security.
No.
You had SWAT.
You had SWAT, police, and Homeland Security.
I could have sworn the sheriff was there too.
Of course, but Homeland Security.
Now, Cameron.
Homeland Security protects the waters. They protect if something jumps off. Something jumps off, they hit the homeland. They're the first things smoking outside of CIA and the Marines, or they had Homeland Security not just hitting one home. They hit 3 homes.
Which brings up
concurrently, by the way.
Yeah, which brings up the whole human trafficking business.
Yes.
Because that's what would draw in Homeland Security.
You ain't bringing in Homeland Security unless you know. Because you got to think about how much resources. Now, this is all alleged that he's in trouble because he's not been accused. And so we're going to keep it with the allegedly.
That's why I said he ain't been accused.
He ain't been accused yet. But you're not throwing that much resources and ain't nothing happened.
But did you know
that's like having Homeland Security
run
up into a Walmart and say, everybody get on the ground, everybody get out. And that's Homeland Security. Everybody hit the deck.
But that was the funny part. Nothing happened.
Not yet. No.
Not yet. Yeah.
No. They went in there trying to snatch up. No. They got some stuff.
They got some stuff, yeah.
The stuff that y'all saw, you saw them walking out with.
Yeah. Laptop, TV.
They walking out. They
got some money.
They turned over his whole house. I'm like, y'all forget what y'all see in the movies. When they say they flipped that house, I'm talking about they flipped that house.
That was his house in Miami, right?
All 3 of them. They flipped all 3 of them joints.
So what I'm picking up from this, what I'm getting is, the glove fits.
Yeah, they got enough to go. They got enough to get a state warrant on somebody. It takes a little something to do. Mm-hmm. If you were trying to get somebody to
got paid off on it.
No, forget all that. It goes beyond money. This goes into they got enough something criminal and they're trying to just get all the evidence gathered up. So when they piece all this stuff together, they're gonna hit him with a huge. So everybody says it's kind of like a RICO thing. Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, RICO. Yeah.
Oh no, they're like when they go in there, task force, this is kind of like this, but on a grander scale.
But see, what made me laugh? This fool trying to flee. Leave the country.
He didn't try to leave.
Yes, he did.
He didn't try to leave.
I mean, he didn't try to leave.
What he did was try to okey doke them.
Yeah.
Thinking that, they don't know what they're doing. This is Homeland Security. This boy, they knew exactly where he was. You know why they did everything when he wasn't in the building? You know that, here's the thing. People don't pay attention to certain things. And when a couple other podcasters pointed this out, one pointed this out on our podcast too. They chose to do this in broad daylight in the daytime. You don't. I'm gonna tell you right now. Anybody who's been in any type of raid or SWAT situation don't get ran up on in midday. You get ran up on late at night when you sit in your drawers,
or early in the morning,
or first thing in the morning before you even thought about yawning.
Well,
they at your gate.
It's called making an example.
No, they said, look,
no,
I don't know. They didn't even want him. They didn't want him there on premise.
They knew what they
because they wanted to go in there and get it without no interference. And so they had them people, just like you here right now, with your hand behind your head, interlace your fingers, and they had these little cops trying to pull these tall dudes. They had that so bad.
I didn't realize how tall that dude was.
That dude was like 6'4". They had the smallest cop on them trying to take him.
But the funny thing is, you notice how Diddy sent his lawyer back to his house.
Now, of course he's gonna. So what is he gonna say? I'm innocent. You have to say that. Mm-hmm. This boy got some of the best lawyers that you could buy. You want to know why? Because it's on.
But see, my thing is this: where do you go from there now?
You can't. No matter what, they got something on you. You gonna have to negotiate. Now, allegedly, nobody's been incriminated yet. But you ain't sending the goons out there and nothing's happening. You tell me in what scenario that Homeland Security is running up in anybody's place and there's nothing going on. Or you're innocent. You ain't that innocent. Mm-hmm. Something happened. You already paid off Cassie. And when you paid off Cassie, you just admitted to everybody. Mm-hmm. You did this. So everything that she said in her documents, 75% of it gotta be true. We ain't gonna say 100% of it, but see, 75% of it gotta be.
My thing is this with her, what I was upset with, why you waited this long to bring this out?
Because
when
you're dealing with people who are in high profile, who got pockets, plural, who could get you up out of there at any point in time. If they wanted her,
how old was she when he met her? She was like 16, 17, right? But they was doing all kind of nasty stuff.
They were doing
all at one just
no, but see, some of it.
That's what I'm saying.
So the sexual stuff is one thing. The only reason why the sexual trafficking comes into play is because you're talking about minors. If these were just grown adults, you're talking about sex things. It's nothing. That's only a small portion of it. You're not talking about the drug stuff that they've been pushing. Mm-hmm. They already said one of his drug people, the mule. But we know what that means. Yeah. He's just a runner. They already said the runner got caught. And they were like, look, we don't want you, but we got you. We could put you on the hook for a lot of stuff already because you're running for this dude. And we already know that you run in packs. We already know what you've been doing. So you either going to do a bid or you're going to give up the goods. They already got the mule on deck. They already got people who's ready to testify. Here's the thing is, and I heard this on the podcast right before pulling up, and it's super important. Normally, when stuff like this happens, everybody was running their mouth. Of course. Why is it quiet?
Because everybody got something to lose.
Because
who all involved?
But think about all the A-listers, like A-listers. I mean, people think about the Jeffrey Epstein thing, and it got him to the point where he had,
I'll give you one better. Remember what happened to Russell Simmons?
I mean, Russ wasn't even this bad. No, Russ wasn't even like this.
I know.
But I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah. They won't let him back in.
I'm gonna tell you like with Russ.
Or I'll give you something better. Think about that incident with the Nickelodeon.
So here's the thing. Here's a good parallel. Good thing. Good topic. I like this. You brought up the Nickelodeon thing. I don't know if you had a chance to watch the Nickelodeon special where they were talking about how the producers was messing with the kids, messing with some of the showrunners, messing with some of the adults on there.
Oh because Dan Schneider is a horrible human being.
Yeah, and he was like a lot of the jokes, if you really see them played back, were really like a lot of jokes and sexual connotation.
Yes, live action Nickelodeon TV was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was really over the top and egregious. But here's what you learn about that. They're more loud in talking about that, like the celebs and stuff, than what they're doing about the Diddy thing. You want to know why? Because you said something super important. there's a lot of people got a lot to lose. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that's kind of been coming backwards that's out there. Because you talk about cameras and footage and documents, and they're saying that he's saving all this stuff. And they said that he's been filming people. Because I know how certain execs run.
Think about it, Cam. You don't think P Diddy had everything?
No,
just because if he go down, he gonna take
because he's trying to, people use that stuff as leverage. And then one of the things they were talking about, like how a lot of these rappers, they get on these mollies, get on this drugs, get on this lean. You know how certain people are. Y'all, I don't know if you had a chance to deal with some drunk people, but I dealt with a few drunk people in my time, right? So you got different types of drunks. You got your stumble drunks who like to. Sorry, I didn't mean to shake the camera. You got your stumble. Yeah, you got your. You got your stumble drunks who like stumble all over the place. You got your chill drunks who just like to sit in the cut and just chill. But you got your like happy, lovey drunks who when they get drunk and high and all that stuff, they just want to hug and grab and they don't care who it is. They just hugging and grabbing on anything, right?
Yeah, I deal with those.
Yeah, molesters. Okay.
Yeah, no, but they get all handsy feely, right?
Yeah. Don't forget the one who can't stop talking about his ex.
Or you get the super chatty patty ones. And a lot of times you get two in one. You get the stumbly one who's chatty patty, or you get the lovey-dovey one who's chatty patty. Ooh, I love you, but it's my ex. No. So which one are you?
I did everything.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You and I hate putting you out there. But what I say is that, Diddy, I think he used a lot of this stuff as leverage.
Okay. Don't we just call that blackmail?
Yes. Yes, you use that leverage.
That's like on New Jack City.
If I'm going down, it's bigger than Nina. Don't just seem like a Nino Brown moment is going to come around. That's what I've been waiting for the whole time. I'm waiting for Diddy to do the whole Nino Brown thing.
If I'm going down, I'm taking everybody with me.
Y'all going to see this footage? There is footage. I mean, a lot of things came up that was in the past. Like, one of the things they were talking about, because one of the things they were looking for was footage about, about the guns and stuff. Because Cassie said, he used to make me take guns around. You know what just came back around full circle? Jennifer Lopez's name just came back around. Because they said when they pulled up into the club, Jennifer Lopez was the one who was holding the biscuit. And got the gun and gave it to Puff, and Puff was the one who did the shooting. You know what's crazy about that? Shine did a 10-year bid for that. And if it came around that he kind of played Shine out of pocket, which we already know we kind of know this, But if it came to be that it really came full circle and they have documented footage of all this stuff, he's done for that. When they raided his house, you don't think that all the other stuff that's sitting there doesn't come into play? All the drugs, all the guns, any of the girls, any of the sons. And the reason why Puppy can walk around in broad daylight, because a lot of the assets that he has is not in his name.
Yeah, because some of this stuff is in his mom's name, kids.
It's all in the kids' name.
All in the kids' names, right? Yeah.
Why do you think they had the kids all? They had the kids all hemmed up.
That's why I hate when
they had the sons. They had the sons hemmed up. Like, yo, we bringing you down. So you either gonna take some of this hit, or you want to talk about your daddy.
And that's a cold way to be.
No, that's on your daddy.
That's on your daddy, but be in that situation, like, man. Just because my name is on the deed don't necessarily mean.
But they're gonna press him.
That's how they do
it. This is what happens. You don't think the phone company don't press you when you be like, well, you trying to get yourself a new phone line, and your mama put a number back in the day, and Verizon trying to press you over $200. Think about that times.
That's why I hate when
this is just like
you put your name. Go ahead.
Just like the last episode we were talking about with the credit card. Who's going to pay that bill? The one whose name is on it. It don't even matter if he didn't use it.
Right. But this is why he could kind of like freelance and roll around. They know where Puff is. And if they wanted to go snatch him up today, they could go get him right now. And anybody affiliated with him. You don't think they've been wiretapping and tracking him and listening to conversations and all this stuff? They got him done.
Do you think somebody would try to kill him and keep him quiet?
No.
Not the government. I mean someone who involved.
No, because here's the thing. Unless the footage that's on those cameras come out,
really can't say
everything's quiet until they go through it. But here's what I know about Homeland Security. When you got the nerd boy freshers of the world, you got some of me's. Think about me with like 100 times my knowledge dissecting this stuff. There ain't nothing that these boys ain't gonna uncover. These boys are gonna comb through every single footage, every single thing. If you think you scrubbed your computer, and if you think you scrubbed that DVD footage, and you think that stuff is not hiding in some random cache or some random server, you don't think they can't pick this stuff up?
I mean, here's the problem.
Everything that y'all don't think, everything y'all think about tech, y'all think that, everything you could get rid of. You could I could scrub everything out of my phone. I could scrub everything out of my laptop. And trust me, anybody could get to it.
I think people forget, when you delete something, you're the only one that loses it.
Right.
It's still accessible to pretty much whoever wants it.
Right.
All delete does is remove it from your site.
Right.
But it's still out there. That's the terrifying thing about the internet. Once it's on there, it doesn't really go anywhere.
Right.
I mean, the only reason information is gone is because it gets lost or corrupted, but it's there.
And hi, Apple. This is what happens when y'all use a lot of this Apple tech. So everything with Apple tech, and a lot of these people say, "Ooh, Apple this, Apple that, Apple this, Apple that." Everything Apple is trackable. I promise you. You think you can scrub it? You think you can hide it? Everything's trackable with Apple.
Yeah, kind of by design.
Get a Samsung.
I mean, after all, they did AirPods.
No, I'm saying what I mean by everything.
AirTags.
What I mean by everything's trackable. I mean that even if you think you deleting pictures and you deleting this, you deleting that. No, you ain't.
So if I do have a picture like this, I try to delete
it. Yeah, if you was walking around bucket naked and you decided to take pictures, you'd be like, nah, I'm trying to get rid of that. Oh, it's still there.
That's still there.
They get it. Apple could get direct access to it. All they need is a warrant and the right person. You ain't locked down. Ain't nothing locked down.
Get one of them nerd boy freshers, like you said.
There's a lot of people who's super smart. But the reason why this is important is because I led into it with the whole would you date or get to the point where you would entertain being in that circle, because a lot of times about lifestyle, people get caught up in, well, I'm with the celebrity. I'm in the celebrity lifestyle. I get celebrity circle. I do the celebrity things. Here's the dark. Puff is the dark side of those celebrity things. And he ain't the only one.
Mm-hmm. No, I would say it's more common than not.
Harvey Weinstein. We talked about that before. I'm just being honest with you. We talked about that. Same conversation piece, right? We talked about old boy from Nickelodeon. Same conversation piece. Dan Snyder. Same conversation piece. And
even Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. Yep, when he was alive. Same conversation piece. And it's crazy because a lot of it.
And just like
and a lot
who
of
was that fool they convicted who's doing life now? What's his name?
R. Kelly.
Not R. Kelly. I know that.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out names.
The dude from the '70s show.
Oh yeah, him too.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby.
Cosby got caught up. A lot of these people. No. But what I'm saying is that what it comes down to is people put so much. They put so much emphasis on their sex life, however way that y'all choose to engage, that nothing else matters. That's kind of the lesson in this. Yeah, if you really start to break this down, sex trafficking, y'all to the point where y'all messing with minors. Like, I understand that, these people be like, well, they're pretty. They're 16. They're 15. What grown man is messing with a 16, 15-year-old? We used to frown. I mean, was there a point in time? Correct me if I'm wrong. Was there a point in time where we used to frown on that in the hood? Mm-hmm. You could be 18. You ain't dating nobody, even if you're 2 years, even if they're 16.
That's a DP, and I've seen that happen.
Yeah, I'm just saying you're 18 and you're dating a 16-year-old. Even though they're 2 years apart technically. But they're still a minor.
Well, I mean, to make it even more egregious, it's and that's a good example, but to give an egregious example of what we're talking about here, that's like, it looks bad when a 25-year-old is dating an 18-year-old.
Yes.
That looks bad. Mm-hmm. Yes, he or she is an adult. It doesn't matter whether the 25-year-old is male or female. It just looks bad when a 25-year-old and 18-year-old are together. That just looks wrong.
Right.
What we're talking about is it's worse than that, because it's an 18-year-old with like a 13-year-old here. What I mean by that is
no, you're talking about somebody who's in their 30s with a 16-year-old.
Yeah, that's what I mean here. It's like the age
for real.
gap.
For real. Puff at the time when he was dating Puff at the time when he was dating Cassie was about 35-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Let me put it this way.
She's 16. She ain't even cleared high school yet.
Well, it's like, okay, so what I'm trying to say here is like take the base number of 5 years, right? 5 years. 20, like a 20-year-old and 25-year-old, that's fine. That's a 5-year gap though, right? Take that same 5 years to an 18-year-old 5 years under him. Right, it looks bad. 5 years is a lot.
Yeah, that's like if you're a senior in high school and you're dating somebody who's a seventh grader.
Yeah, that's sick.
But you
no. Listen to what you just said. Sick, right? So why is it not sick when a 35-year-old is dating a 16-year-old? Come on, no.
It's sick both ways.
We used to talk.
But I seen that a lot in high school too.
We used to talk bad about that stuff back in the day. This used not to be a conversation piece. But now it's like, it's whatever. Remember when you said that we are numb to this? That's why I want you to get back to that. That's why I want you to hold that until we get here.
What you're describing, it's worse than that. It's not that we're numb to it. It's become. This goes back to the internet. It always does. Social media. But what you're describing has become more of a fetish, or in the eyes of the people, to where it's like, okay, the reason it's no longer as burning or singeing as it once was, like salt on a wound, is because it's been circulated and talked about for a long time online, and therefore because there's been so much exposure of it online that it no longer has the same impact. It's the same thing, the same amount of weight and the same amount of force, but people have grown hardened to it, so it doesn't hit the same. Nothing's changed. But
that's what I was trying to get to.
Nothing's changed.
That's what
if it was bad 30 years ago, it's still bad today.
And that's the point I was getting to, because you made the point about the Nickelodeon thing. That happened about 20 years ago. And it was bad then. Nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed is the social media aspect of it. The only reason why we know about it now, only reason why we know about the Diddy stuff now, is because everybody got cameras, everybody got everything around to put it out there. If this would have happened 20 years ago, and I'm pretty sure it was happening 20 years ago.
Probably even earlier.
We didn't have all the access that we do now. And even then, there was access because, again, if he was able to capture footage, other people was able to capture footage. It was just not as potent as cameras. Why do you think when celebrities and stuff say, you got to sign an NDA just to hang out with me? That's the part I didn't get to with the Kim K thing. An NDA, non-disclosure agreement.
What
NDA.
Basketball?
Yes. No, what I mean by NDA is a lot of times celebrities will make you sign a NDA, a non-disclosure, kind of like a prenup, but not a non-disclosure agreement. The reason why they say that is because you're going to be around certain things and certain people and certain aspects that you can't talk about, period. And you need to sign this. And if you break this, I could sue you for everything that you got.
Get on charges.
Or they'll bring you to jail or whatnot because you're a breach of contract. And a lot of these people are and a lot of these celebrities, they're going to hide behind NDAs. This is the part that people are going to come out next in this whole thing. This is why everybody's being quiet. There's a buttload of NDAs sitting out there.
Of course it is.
But once people say, forget the NDA, I don't care about the money, I just want to get this dude, kind of like what Little Rob or whatever old boy said, I don't care about the NDA. He did this, and Cuba's the one. He was trying to groom me to be with Cuba Gooding Jr. That's the problem. Because somebody's going to break their NDA and get jiggy. That's what Cassie did. She said, forget all that. Diddy just said, I'm going to pay you off. And he was stupid for doing that. Knowing.
Was he?
Look at the heat that got brought on behind it.
I know, but
you don't. Here's the thing.
Because he could have been alive.
If I'm innocent, I ain't paying you nothing. We go to court. We'll go through litigation. I will prove my innocence. I would rather pay the money to prove that I'm innocent, to clear my name, to keep myself still making the money and staying in my lifestyle, versus saying, I'll concede. I'll concede and say that, oh, we'll settle out so nothing gets out.
Yeah, that's the
really. You don't settle out if you don't settle out if you have nothing to hide. If you have something to hide, you settle. If you don't have nothing to hide, you will fight it.
And then lawyers,
you see many people fight, even to a fault. Jussie Smollett's one of those ones who fought to a fault.
Please don't bring up
No, I'm just giving you an example of somebody who fought to a fault even though they knew they were dead wrong. But they were at least willing to fight for it because he felt that I have nothing to hide, right?
Too racist, too.
No. I just use that as an example.
It's just that whole story.
I know, because that whole story's, even though,
making sense.
And here's the thing, you don't think he could have just said, here's 2 NDAs to those boys that did this, y'all have a Coke and a smile, here's $1 million apiece.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
No, they could have.
They could have.
He didn't do that. He decided he wanted to be hard about it. But this is what I tell you about that celebrity lifestyle. And a lot of it has to do is we're so fixated upon sex that it almost is like nothing else matters, and it's like by any means necessary. And you would think that these people, the people who get caught up in this stuff,
will learn their lesson.
No, they have access. You have access.
Wait, what did you just say?
So why do you think so many people are porn addicts?
Yeah, you have access to anybody you want when you're in that level. Now, the problem is because you have access, you think that everybody's just interchangeable. I got enough money to pay this person. I can get this person. Puff could have anybody. He pretty sure it's going to be a lot of porn stars and all that stuff on his roster. You're going to see a lot of that stuff come out. But a lot of celebrities on that roster who've been with said porn stars. Why do you think the porn stars are who they are? And they're well known. Mm-hmm. Only thing that separates them and why this stuff ain't come out is because it's NDAs. But even then, they'll start leaking that, oh, well, I've been with many celebrities, many basketball players, many of this.
Yeah, because that one
star
brought it out, and I watched a documentary.
Yeah, they'll tell you.
She told it all.
There's a lot of them, once they get past the point where they don't care anymore, they'll tell their story.
I'm surprised they put that
and you'll hear them. And I've heard some of these stories. And it ain't fun.
Look what happened.
But they got their fame, their celebrity, and their fortune because of that. Because people know that if you put sex out there.
Look what happened when Tito Ortiz was dating that porn star.
Think about this. Why do you think every woman's trying to be an OnlyFans model all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Because
I noticed that.
No, they're trying to be that. I'm in OnlyFans now. I don't want to work a regular job. I want to be in OnlyFans. You know whose fault that is, though?
Porn.
No, guys.
Yeah.
It's our fault.
Yeah, it is true.
I'm not saying like us three per se. What I mean is that it's guys' fault in general. Because you want to know why? There's always somebody who's going to fund one of these young ladies to let them know that, oh, what you're doing is okay. I will pay for you, and I will pay for your lifestyle.
Well, here's the thing.
From afar, without even seeing them in person.
It's gotten so bad. For the longest time, porn was always viewed as a guy thing. As in, its consumer base was guys.
It's not even just guys.
Well, no, let me continue. It was always viewed as it's guys who are consuming this stuff, or the vast majority that are consuming it, right? But that started to change to where more and more women are starting to consume it in the same level as men are. This is a really recent development, though, because you got to remember, for the longest time, this goes back to what we were talking about a little bit of a second ago, but for the longest time, porn has been viewed as something wrong, right? I mean, even back when it was just on paper, it's always been viewed as something wrong, even when it was just literature. I think people underestimate how long pornography's been around.
Way too long.
Internet pornography is very recent because the internet itself, it's recent.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm just saying this
but the concept itself of just pornography, it's been around for a very, very long time. And it's always been viewed as wrong. Some would say taboo, but it's wrong, right? Everyone knows it's wrong. That's why no one or at least they used to, don't talk about it in public or flaunt it. Like I said, they used to not do that. Because there was shame. They knew it was wrong. They knew they shouldn't be doing it. They knew they shouldn't be enjoying it. They knew they were sinning. But so why did they do it? Because they felt good. This goes back to what I was talking about earlier, that good feelings don't mean much. They really don't.
Well, because you got to a point, like, you remember, I know this is before y'all time. This is before y'all time, but I will say this a little bit. So back in the day, because you made a good point, there was like, there would be like people who will be like women who will be like strippers at the strip club, but they'll also be students, or they'll be teachers, and they'll try to hide it to the nth degree. They don't want nobody to know nothing. They will completely change their aura and stuff, and they will hide it. Now,
real quick, I'm pretty sure that would fall into the category of like soft porn, wouldn't it? Strippers and whatnot. I don't know what else to call it.
It's kind of to a degree,
well,
yes.
because it's all in the same ballpark.
It's in the same ballpark, kind of to a degree. But what I'm saying is that back in the day, people would hide it that they were. It wouldn't be broadcast like, "Well, I'm a stripper," no matter. No, they would hide it so much that they would try to change their whole persona at school or at work or at the regular job, whatever it may be, to be like, you wouldn't know that you wouldn't have known that they were a stripper unless you so happened to pull up on them, or somebody's pulled up on them and said, "Oh, I saw you at the club."
Players Club.
Basically, Players Club is a perfect example of that. But I'm just saying that I've seen that stuff in real life. Now it's to the point where it's like a woman said, "I'm a stripper." It's what club you strip at? It's to the point where it's not even just like not taboo. It's like
accepted, almost celebrated.
Almost celebrated to the point where it's like a status thing to them. OnlyFans, a lot of these people are taking OnlyFans as a status thing. So if you think about it in that terms, if these are people making general amounts of money. Think about when you hear about this Diddy thing, and they're saying it's sex trafficking. You don't think that he was like plucking off some of these OnlyFans, Instagram model girls to be like, "Come hang out at the party. Come over here. I'm gonna pair you up with a celeb. You take care of him. We're gonna have you sign an We're gonna get there in a minute. We're gonna have you sign an NDA. You can't talk about what happened, but I'm gonna pair you up with these people. We'll pay for you. They'll pay for you off. They'll take care of you. Even if they don't, you had the opportunity to be with said celeb." He said T.D. Jakes. Maybe we talked about 3 episodes ago. Maybe it was like 4.
Yeah, a while ago.
Why was T.D. Jakes pulling up at the Diddy party? So when all this stuff first was starting to come out, when they were talking about the Cassie thing and this first thing started to come out, they were talking about how a lot of these people that you wouldn't know was at these parties. Now I understand I'm gonna be full disclosure. Here's what I know about celeb parties. There's 2 sections to the party.
Bad and worse?
Yes. There is the what's in front of you for the front. Then it's what's in the back room.
Open that door.
No. It's what's in the back room away from the main party. So there is people who pull up to the main party, come hang out. But I still trying to figure out. You were still at the main party, where there was still liquor, still this stuff out raw light front and center.
What's going on in the back?
You can't tell me. Most people, you wouldn't even venture off to even sniff to see, because there's only too many people. And here's what's been coming out. People were waiting for all the regular party to go home and whatnot, so the real party could happen. And they would tell you, "Nephew, you might not want to be involved with this." This is what they told Christian rapper Lecrae when he almost inadvertently went into a back room of a party that was about to happen. A whole bunch of girls pulling up in, and you knew what was going to happen next. Christian rapper Lecrae, by the way,
good dude. I heard about that.
And he was telling his story about how he kind of inadvertently fell into this. Good listen, by the way.
Except it wasn't women.
Yes. and he had to just ease himself out of it because he was inadvertent. But you decided to pull up to the party to begin with. Nobody didn't tell you that this is what the party is going to be like. I know you're trying to network and do all that stuff, but the price of fame.
But at least he left though.
No, he did. And this is where I give him a lot of credit. Where he
left.
when Snoop and them told him this ain't what you. And here's why the celebrities know that you ain't about it, because the ones who are about it is telling you. You might not want to be in part of this one, man. You go slide out over here. Go ahead and get your boys. Go ahead home because it's about to get real stupid in about 20 minutes. I'm giving you a heads up. If you don't want to see none of this stuff, you might want to escape. And that's where you know that it was egregious because everybody, like half the party, knew what was going to go down. And they're telling everybody who ain't supposed to be up in there it's about that time. That's how bad this gets. Now, keep in mind, with all that being said, you don't think that all that stuff is filmed?
Of course it is.
You don't think all that stuff is pictures? Even if Lecrae, T.D. Jakes, or Kurt Franklin, or any other person who you think is in high regard was at one of those parties.
Don't do my boy Kurt Franklin like that. I
You're at the party. Okay,
I know.
So why are you at the party to begin with?
I know.
Why are you there?
That hurt my feelings too.
No, why are you there?
Yeah.
I was mad. I was kind of mad that Lecrae was there. Good dude. Really good dude. Really
but
smart.
everybody has suspicions on him though, Cam.
No. He's a good dude.
Good dude though.
But he shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
You are a Christian artist who's supposed to be proclaiming the gospel when you put your lyrics together, right? Right. Why are you pulling up at the Diddy party? To network? Network with who? You could network over the phone. You could network, you go to like a breakfast or whatever. You don't have to be at the party to network. You're strong enough, you have enough access. Same thing with T.D. Jakes.
Same thing.
Why are you up at the party? You can meet up with Diddy at any point in time. You don't think that Diddy would have came down to you wherever you are, but you want to pull up at the function, right? And I don't get it wrong. You know, everybody has those moments where I don't want to be a fuddy-duddy. I'll pull up at functions.
It's simple, Cameron, why they did it.
But here's what I'm not doing. I ain't drinking, I ain't doing, and I know when to get up out of it. If I see anything remotely going sideways, I'm out.
It's simple, like man. They don't believe what they say.
I've thrown some parties like that.
Right, but I'm just, but this is where,
Well, no, but that's why they did it. They don't believe what they say or what.
Agree.
I have to agree with you.
Agree, because if you're going to,
they'll say, "Oh, I'm this type of person, regular," but
then when they get caught,
as soon as they be up in a party,
they won't be like, "I don't want to talk about it."
True colors come out. I didn't see that happen.
I'm not saying that. Here's what I want to drive home, especially to the audience. I'm not saying that anybody is perfect. I'm not a perfect person.
Neither am I.
None of us on this table is. All have sins and fell short of the glory of God. Daily.
Yes, but the thing about
it is that's not
an excuse to go to the races.
Yes, but here's the thing. You don't purposely put yourself in position to fail. So if you're trying to get your life together, you don't purposely put yourself in a position. If you're an alcoholic and you say I'm not an alcoholic anymore, you don't put yourself in the club around alcohol. You don't put yourself at the bar in front of alcohol and say, well, I don't drink anymore, but you're staring at the alcohol bottles. One origin. You don't put yourself in there because all you're doing is tempting fate. You're tempting every single thing that you're trying to go against your will. You're trying to prove a point.
You can't blame anyone but yourself.
Because you put yourself in that position.
You said something perfectly, though, Cam, and I wanted to touch base with you. You said you should know when you know something is finna pop off to get yourself out of there.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't get themselves out
No, because you want to know why they don't want to get out of there?
Because they never been in this situation, or they want it, or they never, this is the first time they got invited to something like this.
Two things to be true. You said both of them. Mm-hmm. One thing is, you didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And so, you got to have discernment to get up out there. So that's one thing.
I've been in that situation.
There's situations like that. So you don't know what to expect. You go to, somebody invites you to a party, you don't know what falls off, and all of a sudden you're in a party where it's like, dang, all these people's hood connected, and I don't know, name one of these people.
I've been in a situation where like I had to call my uncle
like, yo,
pull up.
No, it's not even that. It's like, hey, just want to say what's up. Everybody good. Just want to say, appreciate you.
And I've done that.
And dip.
I've done that.
And dip.
I've been to a car. I swear to God. I've been to a function where I had no business even being in here.
Right.
But
And
I
you
knew
get up-
one of
but
my
you
three
get up-
partners was in there. I'm like, look, hey, I ain't here to kill. I'm
So-
just like, hey.
So the
my
not knowing
condolences,
part,
let me bounce.
the not knowing part
Yeah.
is one thing, but the whole, I'm going to purposely put myself in this position and purposely sit there for a period of time, knowing that you're not supposed to be up in there. It's a little bit different.
And see, and that was one thing I used to get so, because I used to get caught up in those situations, especially when people I
A
grew
lot
up
of
with.
people
People be
did.
like, man, you a punk, you don't want. I'm like, no, it ain't about me being a punk. I'm not finna go to in a party with a bunch of bloods.
It's not even that.
Even with, I'm just using it.
I'm gonna have to edit that
no,
part out.
I'm just using it as an example. Because I already know what's finna jump off next.
I know, and I get it. And here's the
but just because I'm saying, hey, I ain't trying to go to the function, don't mean I'm a punk. I ain't trying to go to because I know what the outcome is finna be after. We walk up in somebody else's function. You don't even know none of these motherfuckers in here, and you already getting eyeballed.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. But see, keep in mind.
But
so you
we
can
just
go.
But see, we're not going into. Some people don't even know how to have a good time.
Forget that.
But I get what you're saying.
Here's the differences. So you pull up in a celebrity function.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's popping off. You don't know what's going on. You just see like, oh, it's everybody's a party, everything's chilling. Until you start seeing everything start to roll out, because it does. You go to I've been to celebrity kickbacks, not full on parties, just
kickback.
It's not kickback. What I mean by the kick,
I know what you mean.
A kickback ain't really a kickback when it comes to celebrities. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, if y'all ever been to a celebrity kickback, and it really ain't a kickback. It is like their kickback. Their kickback is a full on party, but it's a kickback to them because it ain't like 1,000. It's like 100. And here's no. What I'm telling you about 100. You know what I'm talking about. A kickback and a kickback.
No,
we think it's a
wait. Clarify that one more time for the audience.
So a kickback to us is like 20 to 50 people, right?
Yeah.
A kickback to a celebrity is like 150, 200 people. That's
kickback.
A kick. It ain't really. It's a kick, but that's a kickback to them because they're used to going to a party with 1,000 of people. But their kickback is a couple of hundred. And I'm gonna tell you certain kickbacks I've been to. It's 6 dudes. That is 5 females.
That's not a kickback.
It's a kickback. It's a kickback because it's a kickback because it's like, oh, hey, because here's how the story. Hey,
I'm not gonna go.
I got a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it go. So you pull up to the function. Everybody looking at you all crazy, right? But the homeboy who invited you, who's a celeb and everything, be like, hey,
yeah,
dap you up, hug. Hey, what you doing? Hey, this Nerd Boy Fresh, parade. He parade you around and do the whole little song and dance, right?
That happened too many times.
Soon as that happened,
I hated that.
No, all eyes on you.
Yeah, I hate that.
Then he's like, yo, this is Nicole, this is Kayla, this is her, this is her. This is my dog right here. He the money man. So if you need some, talk to him. This is the dude. He's the techie dude. He got you.
You sound just like my best friend.
No, I'm just letting you know. This is how the story goes. But now you in this now you in this environment. Now you introduced. Now you in the mix. Hey, girls all. Now you got the girls all like trying to figure out who you are and stuff, right?
On you. Yeah.
Then 30 minutes later, then you got to start making decisions. Nope. Yo, you want something to drink? Nah, I'm good. I don't drink. Come on, man. Yeah. We got hand. We got this. Pressure. We got this. Now you got peer pressure.
Mm-hmm. I've been in that situation too many
times. We got some trees. We got some blow. We got some lean. We got this. We got this.
What you need?
What you want? No. Yeah. Come on, you gotta do something.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good. Come on now, you gotta do something with the squad. Now you can't come to the function and not do one of these things, right? See how this go?
Yeah.
This is not a kickback. This is not a kickback. This is just you, your boys, a couple of people you know, or allegedly you think you knew, a whole bunch of females that are I'm driving home a point to make a point.
I know where you going because
I'm driving home a point to make a point.
You know, but I want you to know that's really important that you thought you knew because something jumped off. Because now they don't know you. I get what you're saying.
Because let's say something happens. So let's say you're around all.
That's why I laugh.
You're around all these girls.
Mm-hmm.
You asking their ages. Sometimes you be in there. You ain't asking if they 16. You're assuming that
they 18 over.
18, 19, 20, 21.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if some of these girls were like 15, 16 and you don't know. And then all of a sudden you caught up in a situation where it's like, well...
Statutory rape.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
And the only thing assumption's good for.
And the reason why I say that is because you assume this stuff because you're trying to... Your boy's the celeb, right? Your boy's the star. Mm-hmm. He invited you to the function. Because it's like, look, hang out with these. There's a couple of people here. Oh, yeah. She's a model. She works for here. She's an exec. She works for Sony Studios. This person works over here.
I got you.
You in the mix with all of us. But this is what we do. And for you to get down, you got to get down. This is how this stuff goes.
That line right there, what you just said.
It's a get down. No, it's a get down or lay down moment. Yeah. Y'all saw it.
I saw it.
It's a get down. It's a get down.
Property on me. Right
yeah, it's a get down or lay down moment.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't understand. Like if y'all ain't been in that mix, y'all kind of don't understand. But for the ones who
and that's what I'm trying to.
So this Diddy thing is on. Think about that small scale.
Yeah.
With like C-list celebrities.
I didn't seen that happen.
Just think about that with C-list celebrities or B-list celebrities. On a grand scale,
yeah.
When you're talking about top-notch everything, top-notch liquor, top-notch blow, top-notch weed, top-notch stars, sitting in this function with Diddy. Everything on camera now. Think about that. And then you trying to say no, and you want to dip. This is why I said this is where it's tough. And really, like I said, they're not going after him because of they ain't even going after him because of the drugs. Really. They're gonna get him on some drug charges. They ain't going after him because of that.
Oh, I know that.
Everything comes down to the sex part. And the only reason why sex is even in the conversation piece is because they said that a couple of them was forced
by hand.
Forced and minors.
Okay, the other two part, all right, yeah, but some of them I don't think they was forced. I think some of them knew what they was getting, and they just willing to say, "Well, how much you gonna pay me?" Here's the
lesson. Here's the lesson.
But we don't know.
No. Here's the lesson that I gotta convey to y'all, and it's important. You always have the decision.
Yes.
Now you may trade off. You may trade off the celebrity. You may trade off the money. And this is why I said all money ain't good money.
Exactly.
And this is why I say all situations ain't great situations. Because sometimes you got to make a tough decision. And sometimes that decision, you may not like that decision. Be like, dog, I'm in front of all these celebrities.
But it'll save your life and the outcome. And that's, and you just said, and that's the argument right here.
You have a choice.
Life is based on choices you make.
Now, if that choice means that I'm walking away and then they pull you over and say you doing this no matter what, that's a different conversation. You could get the authorities involved and you got recourse. But ultimately, a lot of these people who's been making these decisions, who's going to come out on camera pretty soon, allegedly.
But then, too,
they're going to be on camera making decisions that they were like, cool with at the time, and now all of a sudden they ain't cool with. But now I understand the peer pressure and stuff.
But then with that shit right there, and that's the shit I hate. If you knew this was going on, you've been in there. Why wait till now?
Because I understand why they're doing it because they're scared. When you got people who are hood connected, who got access and and money and resources,
they know how to hit their head on the back of the wall.
Yeah. So think about this. One of the things that came out with the Diddy situation is that he blew up Kid Cudi's car. It's true. So when you see stuff like that, people do that. That's on that hood stuff. And the reason why I say that, because they do stuff to make an example. Mm-hmm. The reason why Cassie had to wait, because she saw all this happen in real time. She was scared. Because if she leaves, her life is in danger. Right. I get it. But the reason why I say it's like, I want to bring it full circle before we head out, is because everything comes down to choices.
Choices you make.
Sometimes you gotta know, is it really so much about being connected to this person. Just because the fame, the money, and all that stuff's attached to them, knowing that stuff is very temporary and can be your downfall. Because if Diddy goes down, and he very well might, that empire comes down with him. So think about this: all the good people who didn't know much, all of his people who work for DeLeon Liquor, all the people who work, everybody goes.
Everybody goes down.
It's an empire because of one person's bad decision. But it's not just one. There's probably plenty of people's bad decisions. Somebody didn't get that man right enough to make him make the right decisions. Because when you get caught up in that lifestyle, there's so much in it.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to pull away. Because when you have it, the money, power, respect.
Because who said that? I forgot who said that. And it's so hard to, damn, it was a celebrity. It was a rapper too. But go ahead.
When you have that.
Finish us off.
It's hard. I know it's hard to walk away. But the best thing to do is to walk away.
Well, I mean, how can you be surprised when everything falls apart? You built on sand.
Right, because the foundation's all bad. And here's the thing. It was Mace who was saying that.
Yeah.
It was Mace who said that, this is the Emperor fallen. And keep in mind, who knows what that man knows?
That's a fact.
We kind of know what Cassie knows, but I don't think she even disclosed everything.
Of course she didn't.
Jennifer Lopez ain't disclosed everything. A lot of people who's connected to Diddy ain't disclosed everything. It's the same thing with R. Kelly. We only got the surface level stuff of what happened with him, and he's still doing a good bid in jail. Mm-hmm. Over dealing with minors, by the way. Mm-hmm. So if he's doing a bid, and it's not as egregious, hopefully Diddy's gonna do it. I'm sorry to say, if they run it down and everything is exactly what they said, whatever R. Kelly got, you could quadruple that. Mm-hmm. He gonna be spending the rest of his days in a jail because they gave R. Kelly 17 and some change for messing with 3 girls underage. And if they found out,
he ain't gonna be P Diddy no more. He gonna be DP.
But I just want to let's go over that because I just think that a lot of people wanted to kind of get our perspective on it. I think with everything, you have a choice to do everything. The same choices you have to get up and go to work is the same choice we have to do a podcast. It's the same choice we have what type of food that we intake, the people who we hang around with, the conversations we have, the choice to serve God, all that stuff. All that stuff is based upon choice. Mm-hmm. You have a choice to do everything. The one thing that the good Lord gives you is choice. He gave you the choice. Now, you have to have the spiritual discernment, the awareness to make the best choice that you can. And I'm not saying that every single choice you're going to make is going to be perfect, but you want to try to do the best you can to make good choices.
I know. He does. He has a church somewhere. I know he has his own church.
It's just one of those things where, if anything, if your own choices don't reveal to yourself how desperately you need a savior, then you're forsaking the only hope that you have.
Facts.
Your own choice should reveal to you how desperate and how wicked you are. But I always hear the thing of well, that was me in the past. That don't matter. Mm-hmm. What you've done is what you've done. I mean, I think people don't seem to understand the Lord.
You just said a strong line right there, baby.
People don't understand the Lord doesn't see it that way. It's but that's not who I am anymore. That doesn't matter. That's like saying I murdered that person 2 years ago. Why does it matter? Because you committed the crime. You committed the sin.
Still on your
conscience. It don't matter how long ago it was. You committed it, and everyone has committed sin. There is no becoming a better person. There is no new you. You can't save what is dead, and everyone comes into this world dead. This world is filled with the living dead, and that's why the Bible is so purposeful with its choice of words of you must be born again. You must be born again. It's not optional. And if you're not certain you're born again, if it's something you have to sit and think about, am I born again? You better find out. This life is very, very short. People don't like thinking about how short this life is. It's very short. it's going to end before you realize it, and you may not even grow old.
Yeah,
it
could be over quick because we're in the last days, ladies and gents. Because this is all last day stuff, by the way. But we've been in that for a long time. We ain't even gonna go down the rabbit hole.
Well, I'll talk about that for a split second. Yes, we have been in the last days for. It's going to surprise you. For 2,024 years. That's how long we've been in the last days. However, I don't think people understand what the last days are. The last days. Look, nothing needs to happen for Christ to come back because it's already happened. Everything required for him to come back has taken place. He's primed and ready to go. So some people are like, well, why hasn't he come back yet? Because he doesn't want people to perish and go to hell. God is very, very patient. Very, very patient, but he has a limit. I don't know what that limit is. No man knows the time or the day.
Nobody knows the limit, brother.
But he has a limit. He says it himself. I will not strive with man forever. I will not put up with this forever. But he's patient enough to where all those whom will believe in Christ, he's willing to wait until that last person who's going to believe in him does that. And that may even be you listening. You don't believe in Christ, you say it's nonsense. Well, Lord willing, you come to understand your need for a Savior, you put your faith in him, turn from your evil ways, you may be the last one to board the ark. I don't know who the last person's going to be. Nobody does. But there is going to be one last person who does it. And that's it. After that comes eternity.
Amen.
People really need to think about eternity more often. All this stuff is very
temporary
and pretty much worthless. Everything. All your possessions, all your money, all your wisdom and knowledge. You can't impress God with it. All you can do.
You only impress each other.
All you can do with it is just use it to the glory of God, however that may be. And people don't understand the smallest things can give glory to God. Literally eating a meal and enjoying it proper gives him glory. Why? Because you know he's the one who gave it to you. You know the one who sustains you. Everything you do should glorify him. That doesn't make sense to a lot of people. Like, well, how do I do that? Because people hear the word glorify, they think it's something grandiose, right? It's not. Glorifying him is simply believing in him and trusting in him in all ways and in all things, whether it be relaxing or working or ministry work or whatever. He's glorified when you just trust who he is. But you need to know who he is, and how you do that, you read his word. It's his word, not man's word. I often hear this mistake where people say, well, the gospel was written by 4 different guys and there was these different people who wrote it. No, it wasn't. It's the word of God. All scripture is God-breathed. Yes, human beings were used to write it, but they wrote it under the influence of the Holy Spirit. How then does it all read differently if it's all the same author? Well, simple. The Lord used those men without overriding their personalities, their quirks, their anything, and used them to write it. Victor, this all sounds like nonsense. A lot of the Bible sounds impossible. It does. But it's not. It's just simply fact. I mean, it's impossible to believe without God giving you that belief, to be put it simply. It's impossible to believe without God.
Indeed.
That's every time I just gotta bring that back, because that's what matters. This is a good conversation. This was important to talk about because a lot of people, they really wouldn't know what to do. I don't blame them. There's not really a whole lot of people out there giving direction, or at least proper direction.
That's a fact.
And here's where I'm gonna interject something real quick. Just because you see. Well, I'm gonna say it this way. Let me do it this way. Don't be happy just because this happened to Diddy, because this could happen to anybody at any point in time. And I think a lot of people is getting joy out of seeing downfall.
Of course,
No. People want to get joy in downfall because they think that makes them better. I don't think that I'm better just because I wasn't in that situation. I just think I was just blessed and lucky because I wasn't in that situation. Does that make sense?
No,
I'm not saying that, oh, I'm so happy that he's having a downfall. No, you want to be in a position to like get people to elevate their lives and grow and learn and develop, you know, and not be happy because it's something that's happening to a celebrity. Oh, it's another celebrity falling. It's another person biting the dust. It's another person who's going to lose their millions and millions and billions of dollars. Yeah. You know, you don't want to see that. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a black person, Asian, doesn't matter. You don't want to see people's downfall. But I know that they built, like Vic said, they built it wrong. And when you build something wrong, it's going to fall. It's just a matter of time because you built it wrong. You know, one of the things we try to do, at least for us as the podcast crew, is we try to build it right. Does that mean it's going to be built perfectly? No. But it's not going to be built trashly either.
Like it says in the Bible, Proverbs 13:3, he who keeps his mouth keeps his life. He who opens his lips wise to have their own destruction.
But exactly. And the thing is, it's like we're going to build the foundation as best we can.
Right, Vic?
Yeah.
We're going to build it as best we can. But a lot of people think that, oh, well, we relish in seeing people's downfall because that's what we talk about. No, we don't really relish in that. We just want to bring it to your attention because it happens. Mm-hmm. And when we go through our trials and tribulations and our situations as a podcast crew, we tell you that too. And don't forget, when we get a chance to double back and we're going to talk about it. We didn't do it this episode like we said, but we're going to talk about what happened in my life and my ups and downs. And I will let y'all ask. No, I didn't. I'm going to let y'all ask a lot. I'm going to let y'all ask a lot of questions. I'm going to give y'all a lot of answers. I'm going to be very transparent.
Wait, what was the question you said you was going to ask him?
Here we go. We're going to get one preview question. I'm going to let y'all get this off before we get out of here.
In high school? Was it, what was he look like in high school? Or something on.
I'm gonna let y'all get one question. We're gonna ask y'all can ask a bunch more.
We ain't got time.
No, we got. I'll give y'all one. Give y'all one quick question for the audience, and I will we'll do a lot more.
Next podcast.
Where were you on 9/11?
Where was I on 9/11? I was actually.
I'm serious. Where were you?
No. I was actually. 9/11. I was actually taking the kids to school.
Did you hear about it over the radio, TV?
I was taking. Wait, no, take it back. That was 2000. 9/11. That was 2001. That means my son was just born. That means I was.
Because I'm 36. How old are you?
47. Probably.
40. So you was already out of high school.
48. Yeah.
Because I was 7 or.
Dang, that was 2001. So my son was born. That's a good question.
Damn,
let me think about that. Let me think about that.
That's a good question because you had me thinking.
No, let me think about it. So 9/11. Where was I? Because I know I was
in 8th grade when 9/11.
I wasn't at work. I didn't work that day. I know that. I was at home. I was with Q. My ex-wife she was at work. Mm-hmm. And I was with the baby. I was with Q.
Do you remember how you felt hearing about it?
That's a good question.
The thing about 9/11 is because at the time I didn't really understand the magnitude of it.
Well, yeah, because that was the day where America learned that it's not invincible.
Right, and the thing was, it's not even the fact of being invincible or not. I just we didn't really understand exactly what was going on. The way that it was getting told to us was 2 planes hit the Twin Towers. Plane hit Twin Towers. Plane hit Twin Towers. Well, this other plane's hitting. Yeah. This other plane's going down. We were getting so much information.
Well, the crazy thing was, I remember hearing about this because my mom remembers it very clearly. I was just a little toddler at the time, but she remembers it clearly because she remembers watching the news broadcasting, and after the second plane hit, the newscaster lady said, "I think we're under attack," and that's when they cut it off.
I remember that. I remember they were like, "Oh, I think we're under attack," and
because they didn't want mass panic.
Right, because they didn't want nobody to panic, and that's why they kept. That's why I said the way that we were getting fed the story, we just didn't know what was happening at the time.
And she was right.
No, she was dead right.
But it's funny. When they're right, they don't want people to hear it. I understand the meaning because panic causes more damage,
right,
than not. But still.
But yeah, I was a good question. I was with Q. I know we were at the spot in Downey, and yeah, that's what was happening. I remember, I remember them talking about how the planes were hitting, and it was just like the way we were getting information. They were trying to do a rescue, so we were just trying to figure out what was going on. They didn't really say that it was an attack, like on the mainstream news channels, until they really said, "Oh, well, it could be a terrorist attack." And then I remember George W. going on and said, "We're gonna go on an offensive. We're gonna go over. We're basically," in short, he said, "We're going to war." I mean, he didn't say it was going to be like a full-on World War III type war, but basically what he said was, "Oh, we're going after Saddam. We're going after ISIS. We're going after everybody who's involved, and we're gonna drop them. We're gonna drop them things on them. Literally. Why do you think we ran up in there? We was running up in there to say, look, y'all wanna play cute and hit our twin towers? Cool. We're gonna go back over to where y'all are, bust everything up, and we're gonna take your oil with us."
No.
And that's really what happened.
Now,
one more question.
Well, not a question, but a little bit on the topic of that. 9/11 has been one of the longest debatable conspiracies. Do you think it's a conspiracy, or was it a genuine attack?
It was a genuine attack.
Now, I do lean into that too, where I think it was a genuine attack, and it was just something that the government capitalized on.
They knew what they were doing.
It was a genuine attack.
This was not, just to clarify, none of us here believe it was an inside job.
I don't think it was an inside. I just think a lot of things. Well, a lot of people not going to tell the truth what happened because it was mixed stories. Like,
what do we mean?
They knew that it was a couple people over here. That's another topic for another story.
It was.
The government didn't plan it.
No, it wasn't government plan, but it was.
They were most likely aware of it.
They knew it. I just don't think that the people who needed to get involved could respond fast enough. Yeah. I think that's really what came down to.
Yeah, essentially, yes, they were aware of what was happening, but they did not sit down and plan this.
Right. It wasn't like the government, we're going to plan to do this, so we can do... No. It was one of those, it's happening, we're getting attacked, and when Homeland tried to, and like the people in the Homeland try to intercept, they try to. It's just you can only respond so fast because Homeland Security.
You can only approve what.
Homeland Security then is not Homeland Security now. The reason why Homeland Security now, the way that it is, going full circle to the Diddy thing, is because of really what not happened in 9/11, and that's why when you say that it's very. I mean, when I say very few things with like almost nothing. There is nothing that Homeland Security cannot get their hands on. And that's why when you hear about the Diddy thing and Homeland Security getting involved, that's when you know it's a real deal.
Now, truly the last opinion I'd ask of you this episode. Some would say the biggest tragedy of 9/11 is the TSA. What is your feelings on that?
The biggest tragedy is the TSA.
It wasn't a TSA.
It wasn't the TSA. TSA was born because of
Well, that's 9/11. The joke.
Yeah. It wasn't a tragedy. It wasn't a tragedy. But the reason why TSA exists is really because of 9/11, because they had to do all this stuff. The only problem with TSA now is that
they're ineffective.
They made themselves ineffective. When TSA first was enacted,
it's not about being ineffective. I mean, they really don't have no pool when shit like that goes on. They still have to have a higher authority.
All TSA is that they do the screening and all that stuff. They wouldn't know. When it comes down to it, they are just second level security guards.
Well, boys,
but anyway, we'll discuss that.
How about
real quick, let me shout out the 107 subscribers that's been chiming along with us. And by the way, hey Jason Lang, y'all, you ready for this conversation, man? We gonna bring you on. We getting deep. Dirty Joe, we coming for you too. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Just to clarify everything, guys, we got Dirty Joe
coming through,
and my buddy Robert Davis. Shout out to Robert Davis.
Robert Davis coming through too.
On the show together on that day.
So we're gonna do something.
May 10th,
we got some special shows coming up for y'all, so definitely stay in the loop. We appreciate y'all. I know y'all wanted to talk about some other stuff, like the Shohei Ohtani and some other stuff. We're gonna get to that soon. I promise you.
My buddy Z coming on for security. He's gonna talk about all that security. What you just asked, Vic? That's a perfect good question you can ask him.
Okay.
About the TS.
We got
you. We do that security episode.
We got you. But anyway, we got to get these boys home. We got to work. We got some work to do. And I got to be at work in a couple hours, so I definitely got to go sleep. But anyway, we appreciate y'all rocking with the PBC podcast crew. Episode 75. It's definitely a privilege and an honor to have y'all ride along. If y'all haven't already liked and subscribed to the page, what are y'all doing? Y'all sat here for a whole hour and didn't do that already? A simple click of the button would have been nice. But we appreciate y'all who have been watching along. For all the new people watching, we appreciate you. For all the people who's been checking in with us on the Instagram and on the TikTok and all that stuff, we appreciate you as well, man. I know we get a lot of traction over there as well. And we will make sure we get more content for y'all as well. Besides that, for my man Paul, for my man Vic, my name is Cam, a.k.a. Mr. Nerd Boy Fresh.
Freaky.
Like always, it is God above everything. Till the next time, family, we will do this again soon.
Much love and respect.
Salute.